Oh, look how lovely and well presented this is. We got a little croissant, but we've got some berries with it as well, and a lovely oat milk flat white. This was a good find here in Ross-on-Wye, I think. I'm glad we came this far up. Obviously, we did not want to disturb a beautiful wedding, but that explained the gorgeous music we'd hear. There was actually a proper choir and live instruments. How lovely. But we respect their privacy, took a quick little video of the rest of the church and hopped on out. Well, we go down and see what that little tower is down on the side. Yes. We can walk this way. Walk this way with us. Gracious me, we've just come behind the beautiful church and there is one really large park and graveyard. I'll walk around this side actually, walking in behind David. But also I was really intrigued by these beautiful gates. Look at the stonework on these with the scrolls either side. The prospect, it says. And there seems to be some information on the side here. The prospect and the lost fountain. There we go. And MM. Beautiful. So when you see the word prospect in England, if you're not certain of what it is, it's an outlook, so a panoramic spot, if you like, to come and take in the beautiful views, which I can see already before we even get to them. So there you have it, crossing over the water right now on the maps. So there you go, towards Uffington, Whitehorse and Wayland Smithy. Off we go. And a little pink door. Aww, isn't that adorable? Oh my goodness, I don't think I've ever seen so many hollyhocks ever before. And look at that beautiful thatching, how beautifully it's done. Magnificent. Just walking through the beautiful fields where the sheep are grazing on the way to visit the White Horse, which has been here over a couple of thousand years. Isn't that incredible? I love all this history, and to find it in a spot of just so much nature is such a wonderful gift, isn't it, to be here? So the white horse is just up on the hill there behind me, but we'll get closer and get a better look. This is a National Trust property area. So David's just displaying the ticket in the car. Here he comes. Let's go for a wander and see if we can find the white horse. I can see its legs from here. There's some amazing information for you. 1400 to 600 BC. Goodness gracious me. It is a very abstract sort of horse. So as you can see, because it being on the side of the hill is not easy to photograph or get the right angle, you would really need a drone. But that's the full formation there, as it would look from the air. And up on this hill you also have the remains of Uffington Castle. And there was also something else. Oh, it's called Dragon Hill. And there was another thing that a gentleman mentioned to us as we drove by. He was something. Oh, it's not on this hill, right? Okay. But there you go. So this is directly in front of where I've just taken those close-up photographs. You can see him up on the hill there, the white lines. Magnificent spot. Oh, look at these beautiful, healthy, white, clean, well-fed and very, very happy sheep. And why wouldn't you be living in a spot like this? I've said many times over, I feel so sad sometimes for our sheep in Australia that often live in such poor conditions. They're pastoral animals and they really don't have great pastures a lot of the time in Australia. This is just perfection. Just like the sheep we saw in the Cotswolds where they were so happy. Beautiful, healthy, and look how much they're munching away there, as happy as Larry. Good morning from very, very pretty Burton or Burton. But how would you pronounce it, darling? Burton or Burton in Hampshire, and it was only a very short drive from where we're pet sitting here. But it's a really pretty little place that I found just by my research on the internet. And we were just looking, I'll turn the camera around in a minute. Today, as you can see, summer dresses, t-shirts. It's summer in England all of a sudden, which is wonderful. Although I think it's not meant to last. I think it's only meant to last a few days. But yesterday it was very warm. And so it's gorgeous. Oh, and look at the sky. It's just glorious. So we thought we'd take just a little drive to a cute little village. We can see that there's some wonderful public footpaths that go up through the forest. We've driven through the south, so we're in the South Downs National Park area where we're staying, and we've just driven through some very, very thick forests to get here, which was lovely. And this little village looks like a tiny little pocket of tranquility in the midst of the forest. So there'd be some beautiful walks for hikers here. Unfortunately, I'm not one of them, especially at the moment, but little strolls, absolutely. So let's take a little stroll around Burton. here is an entry. Whenever you see things like this, it means they are, as you can see, they're written footpath. We'll have arrows. So this one, there's one heading over this way, another one heading straight up ahead. You can see that walkway through the fields. And there are always gates, and you must always close the gates, and sometimes you'll even climb over little steps over a gateway, so always be aware of that. There's a beautiful pond here in Barrington. Oh, hello. I think they think we're going to have food, which we don't. I'm so sorry. What a lovely place to sit and ponder. And I can see lots of birds over in the little island there in the centre as well. Hello there. I'm sorry we have nothing for you. I'm going to go for a wander. Parish and village, so it's showing us a few of the lovely things to see and do. You can study that, my darling. Tell me where we need to go next. Just about to visit the parish church of St Mary, Barrington. As you can see, they still have services on Sunday at 10 AM and all are welcome. So we'll go in and have a look at this beautiful church, but I was just going to show you before I did. On many church boards we've seen different dates when they do lovely teas and scones and cakes to raise money for the churches, and I think that's just gorgeous. We've seen that in a lot of different churches. Let's go in and have a look and see what St Mary's is like here. Lovely timber structure, roof. They often look like hulls of boats to me, a lot of the English churches. And then gorgeous arches. This one has really beautiful arches and columns the whole way through. For a small, very small village, it's quite a lovely, lovely church. Beautiful stained glass windows that never seem to, the filming never does them justice. They're far deeper in colour than what you're probably seeing on the screen. So this is the manor house that's sitting right next to the church. And what a glorious property this is. Wow. That's quite a beautiful home, isn't it, my darling?
Yes, indeed.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. So that's the pond we've just left, but there is a second pond with the little waterway and the little bridge going through, so let's go and see what we find. We've just found that there are some massively large freshwater carp swimming, really, really big carp. Can you see all of those? And they're everywhere. Here's one in front of me here. And they're absolutely everywhere in the shallow water. Oh, it's so, so pretty and peaceful. There are little streams leading down to the ponds, leading all the way through the different areas, and we've just come up to a lovely, lovely row of houses here at the end of this little laneway. I would imagine this is still a public footpath though, going past here, as it does lead to the second large pond, which is what we were trying to find. Let's have a look and see. This is absolutely darling. It's called Toad's Alley. Look at these gorgeous thatched roof cottages all along here. It's very, very pretty. Sorry if you're getting the glare, but today we actually are contending with glare for the first time. How interesting. This is exactly what I was craving today. I said to David, I just want to go to some tiny little village where we can get a cup of tea or coffee, have a really pretty walk, just get back out into nature. I've only got a few more days left in England, so I'm just craving taking in as much of this beautiful countryside as I can. I'm really, really enjoying it. And the man is calling me straight ahead, so I must go. We are sitting in the lovely shade because honestly today we're actually suffering from the heat. Would you believe? I can't believe I'm saying that. Oh, we're both having a nice glass of ginger beer, icy cold ginger beer, and sitting with outside because there's the littlest bit of a breeze. I don't know what the temperature is today in the sun, but it feels like it's about 30, doesn't it? In the sun?
In the sun, yeah.
I think so. And we were just saying to the lady inside the pub, you have a couple of days like this and it kind of hits you because you've been in jumpers and it takes you a moment to get used to it. And then she said, tomorrow the temperature's plummeting again. That's England for you. So we don't need to worry about getting used to it because I'm going to be back in long sleeves again tomorrow. Dearie me. Welcome to Petersfield. We weren't expecting to come, but we had to stop somewhere to go to a shop, and we came across Petersfield, which is what they would probably call, David was explaining to me, one of the commuter towns and a market town, because it does have a railway which would take you to London if you're a commuter. But it's got this beautiful old square with gorgeous church over there, and we can see lots of pretty little streets going off with shops. Really lovely town. Not easy to park in, I must admit. We did have to drive quite a lot to get a park, and you pay. But I suppose that's what it's like when you're in a larger town. While we're in Petersfield, we thought we'd just as well walk around on this lovely square and come in to see St. Peter's. Appropriate name in Petersfield. Lovely little cafes there. Really is a really pleasant town, in fact. Oh, look at that, how all the old headstones have been used almost like a wall around the side of the gardens. Let's go on in. This is really pretty though. A lot of the little cottages of the township back on to this grassy park that back onto the church. And the whole way around they've used all of the old stones by the looks of things, really ancient stones, to build into the park. But it's really sweet. It's a bit different, isn't it, David? Oh, pumpkin. Now you're shoving food into the side of your face and making a big lump. Isn't it funny how they do? Look at that. I've never seen a hamster do that before. I didn't realise they actually had a pocket where they filled up the side of their faces with food. How interesting.
Just in case someone else eats it.
Oh gosh. No one else is going to get these banana pieces. I'm glad I put plenty of those. Obviously they're your favourites. Oh my gracious. Good morning everyone. We've arrived in the New Forest because we're attending a wonderful wedding today. Friend's wedding. I'm just avoiding puddles here. David's pointing puddles out to me. And if you know anything about the New Forest in southern England, it's an area where, well, I'm going to turn around and show you. It says watch out day and night on this sign in front of me. There we go. Watch out day and night. Because New Forest is famous for having, wild horses and all sorts of animals just roaming through all the villages. And we've just checked into our hotel, or not quite actually, CAREY'S Manor, where the wedding is held. But directly across the road from it, as we walk down the street, is a field here. And lo and behold, there are some of the wild horses that live here. So they're totally free, and it's not anyone's pet or anything else. You just see animals everywhere.
Oh, you're going to do your bum now. Oh my lord.
Scratching his bottom. And there's another one over there with a little pony. Just wandering about. Just to show you, so they don't wander out onto the major roads and get hurt. In a lot of parts of the townships, they do also have what I would call a cattle grid, but same difference. It stops the animals from wandering off onto the main roads. So keeping them nice and safe from harm. Another cute little pup here, the Forester's Arm. Opposite a really, really sweet. Now that little cottage there is for sale, darling. Oh, we're definitely going to go in here for tea and coffee now. The thatched cottage hotel, Esme's tea rooms. Oh, this looks absolutely charming. Definitely what you want. Look at this, it's so sweet, except it's a really awful day, but we'll have to go inside where it's cozy. Let's have a look.